Everyone has within them the heart to serve. There's a desire, and the fact of the matter is that you just have to take a step into that direction, and God's gonna set it up for you.
Hi, we're here at Third Coast Coffee.
We're here by this wonderful water tower.
True Care Pregnancy Center.
The Austin Disaster Relief Network Call Center.
East Austin in front of this Loteria board.
We're here because Austin is very similar in its downtown layout as Barcelona.
Here in Lakeway, you almost never think about water. But where I live in Southeast Asia, we think about water all the time. We've been able to meet a felt need of helping local people have clean water, and that's an access point that we use to be able to have close relationships with Muslims in our country.
ADRN started in 2009, 12 years ago, where we began to serve our local communities through the efforts of disaster relief.
Serving with Hispanics in Spanish and training them to take the Word of God to the world.
We have the clients come in, they are confused and they're not sure if they're going to have an abortion or not. We provide free pregnancy tests, free sonograms, low-cost testing and treatment for STD, and we also offer the options counseling. There's a lot more things to do besides abortion.
Common misconception about Rio Grande Bible College is that our students are all Mexicans or Americans, and yet almost half of our students are from South America.
A common misconception of what the Austin Disaster Relief Network does is that we only activate in a time of major disaster. But the fact is, every day there's disasters happening in families.
Misconceptions that people have about Spain is that it's a churched place.
We see a lot of refugees, and when we ask them what's their needs, they will say learning French, help with homework for their kids because they don't speak the language, and also we offer in our community center legal help. So we have a lawyer came once a week to give advice to these refugees.
We have developed the Fathers Coaching, and that's where people from church, the men from the church, get an opportunity to coach and talk to the young fathers.
So our location is 3 blocks away from the Asylum and Refugee Processing Center, and so just proximity to where people are plays a big role in people finding us and knowing about us.
The majority of the people that we meet with have no belief in God, especially God of the Bible. If anything, that they would dislike Him.
When we talk about Muslims not hearing the gospel, we mean they don't know about the love of God. They only know about the judgment or the wrath of God.
When we are meeting with these clients, it takes great discernment to be able to witness to them and to speak of Jesus, that He has a plan for them, that He has a plan for their baby, and that this is not a mistake. God doesn't make mistakes.
What are you doing here? How did you end up here? And so that question in itself is a really easy way for us to just share our testimony and the gospel. And then so within the first time we meet someone, we're already sharing the gospel, whether they're receptive or not, and that already starts the foundation of that relationship or that friendship.
We don't start the conversation before becoming a friend and put them in a comfortable place, and by also reach their needs. And after that, they will trust us and they will be open to hear the gospel.
We wanted to stay in Hispanic ministry, and we really weren't sure where the Lord was going to lead. And He opened the doors for us to be doing very similar things to what our heart was to do in Mexico, but safely on this side of the border.
That in our culture, we have been convinced that abortion is merely contraception. And so when one is faced with unplanned pregnancy, the first natural, logical thought would be to have an abortion.
A lot of our students, this is the first time that they have studied the Bible in an academic institution. So they don't come in with all the answers.
What is happening in this world? It seems like it's affected us all. You know, through winter storm, COVID, the increase of disasters has only escalated through the years, and we can't deny that. And if we truly read the Bible and believe what it says, we're only going to see more disasters.
I would say the greatest success has been our ability to partner with the local church in Southeast Asia and work with local people, empowering them.
The greatest success in our ministry, we start with one person as an Iranian pastor to 40 believers an Iranian Farsi-speaking church. And on top of that, recently we baptized 7 Iranians last year, and 9 Iranian and 1 Turk this year.
Now I have students who are serving in the Middle East, in South Asia, East Asia, the Pacific Islands, and North Africa. And it's really exciting to see God developing this call in their lives for missions, and me being able to be a process of mobilizing them to then go to the world.
Since we've been around, we've been able, that we know of, to save 267 babies.
Since 2009, we've served thousands of families. 2020 alone, over 480 families were processed and helped through the network of churches and through the shepherding program.
People at the Lakeway Church have a solution. It's this great entry point into relationships where walls are broken down and friendships, and ultimately the gospel can thrive.